Most people live their lives as if there's going to be another episode, that they are going to get another chance somewhere later on down the line to go after what they truly desire. But the reality is that we only have a very limited time to turn our dreams into reality. Life is of your creation, and where you are right now is exactly where you want to be. And if you don't want to be there anymore, guess what? You can change it, and I'm going to show you exactly how in this video. So the first and most important thing you need to understand is exactly what you desire. Because if you have no aim, no purpose in life, you're going to be falling into pleasure and just grinding completely in the wrong direction. So that takes figuring out, where do you want to go? Why do you want to go there? Who do you want to go there with? How are you going to get there? What exactly does that life look like? How long will it take you to get there? And the best way to figure this out is exactly what I did when I was sitting back home in my parents' backyard almost 2.5 years ago, when I had nothing going for me. I was not making money with remote sales. I had no girlfriend. I was living with my parents, not making any money. And I learned that the best way to figure out what you want is to ask yourself this very question. If you had all the time, all the money in the world, what would you do day in and day out? And you need to figure this out to a T. Like right when you wake up, what are you doing? Midway through the day, what are you doing? Where are you living? Who are you with? All of these questions above, you want to figure out exactly what these answers are. And to get from where exactly you are right now to where you want to go, it takes the number one thing that most people fear, which is change. You guys might think it's death that most people are afraid of, but it's actually change. Most people don't even think about death the majority of their lives until it actually is like very close to approaching. They're mostly scared of changing, whether that be going to the gym, changing their diet, cold approaching a girl they think is cute. That's the number one thing that they fear, and that's the number one thing you need to do. Now, the next step is, after you figure out exactly what you want, you need to figure out exactly where you are right now and what vehicle you need to get you to where you want to go. Because for myself, I wanted to travel the world, make money online, go to Thailand, Dubai, where I have been so far. And I figured out I needed to find a vehicle in order to sustain myself and make money while I was going to these places, because obviously if you want to go to all these places, you want to conquer and achieve all of these things, you need money. It's the power that we use to accomplish things and to move things around in this physical realm. We need to figure out what vehicle it is that we're going to use to be able to achieve all of these different things. So for myself, that was remote sales, but for you, it could be e-commerce, day trading, fitness coaching, whatever it may be. Just figure out exactly what vehicle that aligns with your skills, your confidence level, and maybe your passion as well. But passion doesn't matter too much. You just need to be able to make sure that it's able to fuel the life and the dream that you want for yourself. And with finding the right vehicle as well, it's very important that once you find one that kind of aligns with what you're looking for, is to stick with it until it works. Most people, the reason they fail is because they try one business model, they go at it for maybe a few weeks, a few months, and then it doesn't quite work out, and then they switch business models, and that cycle repeats over and over and over again, which leads them to always failing. So once you figure out exactly what your goal is and what vehicle you're going to pick to get there, don't switch vehicles. On track to your goal, get to where you want to go, and then you can always change vehicles later. Next up, you need to understand that your network literally equals your net worth. It's literally the age-old saying. It's very cliche at this point. You're literally the average of the 5 people you hang around. So we can look at this little piece of art right here. This could be you. This was definitely me back home in my hometown, where I was just surrounded by 4 other people who were just absolute losers, drinking, partying, in university, having kids, screwing around with a bunch of girls, partying, all this type of stuff. They were just all grinding in the wrong direction, while I wanted to level up to figure out a way to make money online, travel the world, and just overall level up myself. So if this is you right now, and you're surrounded by 4 losers, it's very likely you're exactly like this picture right now. They're probably dragging you down, and this is actually what happened to me when I first did come out to Thailand. A lot of my friends, they're still very supportive. They're still my very best friends, but a few of them, they saw me leveling up, taking risk, taking actions, and they were kind of envious just because I was taking risk and taking the actions that they were so afraid to take. So they were trying to drag me back down to their level, which unfortunately, that is the reality for most people. They just don't want to take any actions. They want to see you do good until you actually start doing good, maybe a little bit better than them, and then their ego can't handle it, and they try to bring you back down to their level. But on the contrary, what I've seen from coming out in Thailand, surrounding myself with killers, making 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K or plus a month, And me coming out here with 1500 USD, no income whatsoever, and just surrounding myself with absolute killers, I was able to level up for myself, and that's exactly what you can do as well. Right now, if you're surrounded by losers and you want to be a winner for yourself, you just need to surround yourself with winners. It's a very simple process, but it is pretty hard to do, especially if you're like me and you think all of your friends back home, they're going to be with you until the end of time. But the reality is that's just not the case, especially if you want to level up for yourself and start taking life seriously. So you need to level up your network in order to get to where you want to go. And to find this network that's very leveled up in terms of like where you are right now, is to first figure out what vehicle you want to get into. For me, it was remote sales, and then figuring out where in the world all of these people are that are already successful at the vehicle and at the path that you want to go down. Like for myself, remote sales, looking out in the world, Dubai, Miami, Bangkok, and then seeing Bangkok was very cheap. The weather was good, the network out there's people already doing great numbers. So that's why I decided Bangkok, so that way I could position myself in a place where everyone's already successful, so that way I could become successful as well. Then next up is understanding that your environment directly inspires you or deprives you of your energy, your inspiration, and your fuel to go after what you want. For example, back home in the States, it was raining, cold, it was very low energy, not a lot of money moving around, compared to in Bangkok where it's always sunny. Koh Samui is like an hour flight away, we got the beach, there's money happening, money flowing each and every part of the city. And you're just kind of putting yourself in a position where you're inspired 24/7. The city never sleeps. The energy is unmatched compared to back home. And everyone is focused on making money instead of partying, drinking. And everyone's just kind of leveling up instead of leveling down compared to back home in the States. Now guys, if you are looking to make money online and you have no idea how to do so, the best possible way I think to do so right now in 2025 is remote sales. Just because you need no startup capital, there's very, very low competition compared to e-commerce, day trading, all these other different online businesses. You don't need to be doing cold calling if you're on the right goldmine offer, which if you need help, feel free to book a call below, as I've helped over 50 plus people so far in finding and landing their first goldmine offers. As well as you only need 2 to 6 hours a day starting off. And then as time goes on, you can either increase that or decrease that depending on how much money you want to make, as well as you have full time and location freedom, plus hopefully eventually financial freedom if you're able to save and invest properly. Now guys, I'm gonna go over why exactly most people, they fail in life in general as a whole, and that's because they're not taking enough calculated risk. Risks are a great thing. The only reason there's a risk and the reason most people are like saying it's too risky is just because they don't believe in themselves enough to make this risk not a risk at all. Because most people right here are just like this person. They're like looking at this risk, this risk, this risk, just thinking of which one to go down. They're the type of person that needs to think about it. They're always thinking of, is this one good? Is this one bad? Is this a scam? Is this not a scam? They're always just kind of navigating through the online space or even in person, thinking whether this action will be worth it or not. And the reason these people always fail is just because they never even get started in the first place. They never even take that first step, which leads them at a standstill for the rest of their lives until they decide for themselves to actually take action. And then number 2 is this person right here. He tries one time in his life to take a risk and then it doesn't work out. And then he's just stuck in the same place for the rest of his life, just like the first person. But the thing is, even if you do fail one time, instead of just giving up and then letting life control you, letting life give you what it has to offer instead of going after what you truly want, don't just be this guy right here. Take another risk until it works out. And that's why I succeeded. The first time coming out to Bangkok, I ultimately failed, went completely broke and had to fast for 3 or 4 days. And I even failed before that when I was back home in my parents' house trying different online businesses. I failed at day trading, e-commerce, drop shipping, all these different ones, and they all failed. But if I just gave up, I would have just still be working the 9 to 5, working at a gas station at Red Lobster, just settling for the mediocre life that was already there waiting for me. And the thing with most of you guys right now, there's literally no risk because like, what do you have to risk? This was kind of my mindset coming out to Thailand. Like I had 1,500 to my name, no income whatsoever. All I had was a 9 to 5 back home waiting for me, and I could always go back to it. So when you guys are going after your dreams, the reality that you want for yourself, what risk really is there? If you fail, you can always go back to where exactly you are right now. And how bad is that? I mean, if you're watching this YouTube video, you're already in the 1% of the world. If you have Wi-Fi, a house, a phone, laptop, you're already in the 1%. So what's the worst that can happen if you try to get to the 0.1% is that you can just go back to the 1%. So there's really no risk. So I wouldn't be afraid. I mean, it's just like, go after what you want. If it fails, so what? Learn, grow from your mistakes, and then go after it again. And that's pretty much the formula for why people succeed and acquire the dreams that they've always wanted, is because they fail 2 or 3 times, they learn from their mistakes, and then they finally take the right action that grants them the realities that they want, which leads to success. So take as many calculated risks as you can, as fast as possible, so that we can fail as many times as possible, learn from all of these mistakes, learn what went right, what went wrong, learn from your mistakes, so that way you can keep growing, keep leveling up, and ultimately achieve what you set out to achieve. Then following that, once you take the right risk, get into the right vehicle, and start moving the needle forward to the life that you want, it's all about this little chart right here with taking relentless action. So guys, this is probably you right now. You're not taking any action whatsoever. You haven't taken any risk. But as you start taking risk, you start taking action, you get some optimism from this video, get inspired, you get motivated, you start moving the needle forward to where you want to go. But the reality is, it's not as easy as it seems. So you will kind of go down, like, oh, I'm losing hope, this isn't working out, I don't know if this is for me. But if you move past this point and keep pushing onwards to where you want to go, you'll go back up like, oh, well, this is actually starting to work out, and I'm making my first few $1,000s. It's going well. But then maybe you get kicked off the offer, maybe things don't go well, maybe you get injured, you lose the ability to speak for a few weeks, whatever happens, you go back down. But then you have the skills, you've been doing this for a long time, and now you know exactly what to do, and bam, 10K a month are imminent, and now you've reached the dream life that you've always wanted for yourself, and that just took taking calculated risk and relentless action in order to get there. Now guys, another thing I want to add is that no one is coming to save you. No one's gonna come knock on your door and be like, yo, Bob, here's your dream life right here. All the money, all the girls, all the riches in the world, here you go. It's not gonna be like that. This was me back home in the States, living with my parents, just sitting in my room, watching YouTube videos on people living my dream lives, and just thinking to myself, man, something's gonna happen where I get all this life for myself. Everything is just gonna come to me. But that's not the case. Instead of just letting life happen to you, letting fate do its thing, letting destiny just give you what you think you deserve, go after what you want. Go open the door, go after what you want. That's exactly what I did. I took life by the balls, moved out here to Bangkok with $1,500 to my name, no income whatsoever, and stayed here until I made it work. I didn't just book a return flight back home when I went completely broke. I stayed with it until I made it work. And this is the exact mindset you need to have for yourself, is that no one is coming to save you. It's all on you. Where you are right now, it's exactly led up from the actions that you took, the thoughts that you've thought up until this point. It's all on you, and it's now all on you now to whether change and start moving the needle forward to something greater, or stay the same for the entirety of your life. Both are the options that are entirely up to you, and what you do up to this point is all your fault. So guys, to sum it all up, the first thing you need to do is figure out what you want. And then number 2 is how to get there. And then number 3 is surrounding yourself with people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. And then number 4, taking calculated risk and taking relentless actions. And then number 5, positioning yourself in a way where you have no other choice but to get what you want. For example, I was never gonna get what I wanted. Back home in the States, where I was just living with my parents, everything was provided for. I put myself in a position where I was already living my dream life, and then I just had to like kind of let reality catch up with me with the money side of things. So I moved out to Thailand, already started Muay Thai, meeting my girlfriend, getting my apartment with the 1500 USD that I had. And then I just had to wait for reality to catch up, you know, doing all the things that I could to start moving the needle forward to finding my first gold mine offer, and then just waiting, and, you know, just a matter of time until you get what you want. And then number 6 is knowing that no one is coming to save you. And then number 7 is enjoying the whole process, because if you're just not there, if you're not present, if you're not enjoying the process from 1 to 7, why are you even doing this in the first place? You need to understand that life, it's a very short ride, it's a very short dance, and that each and every moment, the good, the bad, the ugly, the greatest parts of your life, you just need to be able to enjoy and be grateful for each and every moment, as the good and the bad. You never know the good without the bad. You never know the bad without the good. So just be thankful for both sides of the coin as you're moving the needle forward to the dream life that you want. And that way you're able to enjoy every part of it and just be happy the entirety of the ride. No matter if you're completely broke or have all the money in the world, as long as you're grateful, you'll be able to have a very enjoyable life. And I mean, we're not going to make it
no one's gonna make it out alive. So just do your best each and every single day. Hopefully you guys got some gems from this video. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.